So the number one available player in the transfer portal, Ochaun Mathis, has made his collegiate decision, choosing between the Texas Longhorns and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, ultimately choosing Nebraska. Today, we need to break down both what this means for the Nebraska Cornhuskers as well as the Texas Longhorns, and we're going to discuss it all. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Are you surprised that Mathis chose the Cornhuskers over the Longhorns? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, like and comment down below, as those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But having said all of that, let's jump right into this, and we need to start on where do the Texas Longhorns go from here. And we need to understand that Mathis was a major priority for the Texas staff, and for multiple reasons. First and foremost, it was a major position of need, both in terms of depth present in the Longhorns room and also in terms of importance of that position in PK's scheme. When you combine there not being enough depth at a position of massive importance, something needed to change, and Mathis looked to be the answer. On top of that, Mathis is from the state of Texas and even played his collegiate football in the state of Texas. And finally, former TCU head coach Gary Patterson, who was instrumental in the recruitment of Mathis, now finds himself with the Texas Longhorns. And when you package all of those together, it looked incredibly likely like Mathis would be choosing the Texas Longhorns as his next destination. However, fast forward to today, and that is not the case. Instead, it's the Nebraska Cornhuskers who get the number one available player in the transfer portal as of today to come in and choose them as his next destination. And this is a major win for Nebraska. One thing we need to understand is Scott Frost needs results, and he needs them soon. And they've done great work this offseason, not only in terms of the transfer portal, but also in some hires, bringing in Whipple from Pittsburgh, who just put up a massive offense, and they're hoping that carries over to Nebraska. But the defense is also an area where Nebraska wants to continue the season they just had, in which case the season Nebraska just had, their defense was the strength of that team. It was the offense that kept putting them in precarious situations. Nebraska went out and ended up getting Casey Thompson from the transfer portal, and then a new offensive coordinator. So they've done something to address the offense, but now they need to make sure that their defense remains strong. And one of the things, if you are a Nebraska fan, you're wondering is, can our defense carry over the production we got from a season ago without as much of the veteran talent as we had? Because that Nebraska defense, though strong, was full of veterans, and this one is going to be looking to replace some of that veteran talent. However, when you get in someone such as Ochaun Mathis that has been so productive in his collegiate career, attributing 12.5 sacks, over 130 tackles, and over 20 tackles for loss, when you can get someone with that veteran experience into a position of need, even though Nebraska's defense was stout last year, they didn't have a true defined number one pass rusher, and now they get that. It's just about addressing all the other pieces outside of that, in which case they are going to need some people to step up. But what a great start to charting how you're going to be able to maintain the strength of your team from last year, which was the defense, and getting in Ochaun Mathis, someone who you know has translated to the collegiate game and done so very positively, putting up big numbers for TCU, who always has a solid defense. And so when you look at the totality of circumstances for Nebraska, this is a great win, because Nebraska has had multiple big wins in the transfer portal thus far. And Scott Frost is somebody who has to have a better season this upcoming season, or else we could be having a totally different conversation about where he is in terms of a job this time next year. But this is a great way to make sure that your team is in a position to be successful by getting in talented players who you know can add something to your team. So hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this, because this is a great win for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in an area where they really needed the help. They had a really solid defense last year that was full of veterans, and now they're looking to replace that veteran talent, and they do so in a position that they didn't really have a defined guy at last season. Now Mathis gets to be that defined guy. He gets to be a veteran in the room and help out the young guys who Scott Frost and company have already talked about they have a lot of faith in, so long as they can continue to develop. But introducing a guy such as Mathis can help that process. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.